Alright guys, just want to scan through some charts here. You know, there's very few charts here at the moment that are, well, green on the week to start with. A lot of them now are kind of deep red, a little bit like this or worse, because we've not had the bounce back up yet. Now, there is the possibility of trying to buy a knife catch, you know, coming into the weekend. The weekend usually gives a bounce. Today is Thursday. The weekend usually gives a bounce in the altcoin market. So if I scan through, I mean, you can see Troy is still green here. There's a possibility that this might continue up higher. It is one of the few coins that is still green. You can see here IOST. It's down into the low end of the range. You know, it's potentially a decent buy here if you're willing to buy with a stop below this weekly low. And you know, but what you're hoping for some sort of bounce up into the weekend and the candle finishing fairly strong, and then the next week we bounce up and take liquidity. So you know, in theory it is a buy here right now with the thought process that it's going to bounce up in over the weekend. You know, you can say that for almost any coin, but like a lot of these coins, you can see this is a large bearish candle. We're way down past the previous candle. It kind of implies that the bounce, you know, could very well sell off again after it does bounce next week. Let's just keep flicking through because there's a lot of coins to go through here. I mean, AV is not that bad on a weekly chart. You know, if this does bounce, say into the weekend, and say it bounces up there and leaves a bit of a wick, you know, next week it very well could, you know, continue that trend higher. And why am I saying that? Well, the 2 week is still green here, so it kind of is implying that there is the potential that this could be a bullish wick in an uptrend, and we're closing on the moving averages. In the new week, we could continue that trend higher. So AV is one of the coins where I am tempted to knife catch this. Now, when you're buying deep into a red candle like this, it is a knife catch. The safer trade in theory is to trade the new weekly candle and see if it can get that move up. So this is the dilemma that we're left with. Do we knife catch this, or you know, is the market going to roll over more into the weekend and create a bad candle? Like create a candle like this. Like this is what the possibility is. What if we don't bounce into the weekend? We could create a very bad candle, a large bearish engulfing candle, just like we did here. That's the kind of worry and the issue with knife catching right now. The safe trade is on a new week. Even if we do bounce a bit over the next day or two, you know, the safe trade is then to trade the new weekly candle, and if it flips green, look to get long and see if it can bounce back up. A little bit like this did. You know, it flipped green and we bounced right the way back up, even though it sold off again. But you know, there's a massive amount of money to be made in that bounce. That weekly candle is 26%. You know, you can make thousands or hundreds, you know, depending on your capital size or whatever, on even the leverage if you time it well. Now, I'm not saying to trade leverage, but even on spot, you know, you can make a lot of money on a 26% bounce. So, you know, because of the bad drop over the last couple of days, I usually like to play it safe. You know, if you knife catch here, for example, if you start buying here, and what if it continues to drop? You know, I'm sure most people have lost a bit of money over the last few days, and that's normal when the markets drop. You know, most people are either holding long-term, mid-term swing trades or whatever, and their capital, not their capital, but their size of their portfolio, I suppose, has gone down a bit because, you know, holding swing trades, you know, you have to hold in and out these dips and troughs and pumps, and I'm sure that most people have gone down a little bit. So to be taking more risk to knife catch these is not usually my style. I usually like to play it safe, and then trade the safe trade on a new week, depending on if it closes down here or if it closes up here. For me, that's just my personality. I like to trade the safe trade, at least attempt to trade the safe trade. When you're when your portfolio is moving up and up and up and up, and you haven't had that big dump yet, it's a lot better to be taking a little bit more risk in the uptrend when you're more confident that the trend is moving higher, and you can take a little bit more risk to make that bit more money. But once you've already had the dump, it's good to then wait for confirmation and wait for this safe trade, I suppose, and that would be trying to get long on a new week and see if we can bounce up. If people want to try and attempt some trades here into the weekend, I mean, in theory the bounce is limited because there's no way that this is going to bounce and flip green, for example. That volatility will usually not come until a new week. There's only 3 days left in the week, and we are kind of deep red. And now I'll just keep flipping here. It goes for most candles. Like we flip through here, Loca. Well, there's a green one here, BNX. That's obviously been very strong. Now this is getting to a point where you need to be starting to consider to maybe short this. We've just had a bearish stop hunt up here. I don't know if we can short this or not, but look at all these green weekly candles. This very well could be in for a red week and drop back down. So I'm definitely not long on that. You can see here we're deep red on a pullback. Again, I'm not really interested in knife catching this. Even if it bounces a little bit into the end of the week, I would far prefer to trade the next week and see if we can get continuation on the weekly candle. I'll keep going, and you can see, you know, I'll just try and be quick with these, but you can see that, you know, we're deep red, pretty much deep red on the week, deep red on the week. Bit of an inside bar here. XVS, well, I don't really want to trade XVS. It's a terrible coin. Something happened to XVS. I don't mean to knock on it. I don't know much about it, but I remember something bad happened in it. Like this crashed the coin, and it makes it a dead coin. Like you get a failure like this. Look at this crash. You get failures like that, and it turns it into a dead coin. Look at this. This is a weekly chart. That's half a year. When is that? May. That's more than half a year. That's 8 or 9 months now that this coin has done absolutely nothing because it got wiped out. It got crashed. It got rug pulled, I should say. It turns it into a dead coin. I have no interest in trading it. This is a bearish weekly stop hunt. GLMR, bearish weekly stop hunt, bearish candle hunt. Monero, actually, I talked about Monero. You know, it's an interesting coin. I'm not going to buy it, but look at all these weeks. Maybe it does want to drop a bit. Bearish, you know, bearish weekly candle. Yeah, interesting. You know, on a new week, you can see here's a great example. Look at this. This is the way I like to trade it. Let the week finish. If you knife catch down here, what if it flips red and continues dropping? But on a new week, you can still get that main move. You can still trade it and take liquidity and get a very decent bounce up here into the middle. For example, look at this. I mean, it's 40%. You could attempt to buy this right now and have a stop below the candle, and there's maybe a 40% bounce into this coin next week, just like what happened here. We bounced up and took liquidity. This coin, as you can see, has a history of these big wicks and bouncing back up. So it's a knife catch buying right here. I like to trade the new weekly candle and see if we can bounce back up. So I will try and put this on my watch list. Again, a big red weekly candle, a big dump candle, but you can see these dumps on a new week. If you stop hunt the lows, you can get bounces back up, real bounces back up. Look at another example right here. If you stop, well, it was a big stop, it wasn't a stop hunt really, but it was a failure to break down, and then we got a big bounce back up. So the opportunity is more likely next week. It could be 2 weeks time. Like, these are bearish weekly candles, and what if, you know, we are going to continue and get another bearish weekly candle? This is another reason why I don't really want to stop. I don't really want to knife catch. Sorry. Look at this bearish weekly engulfing. We still had 2 more weeks to the downside. Look at any more examples. Well, this is an interesting one. This was bearish weekly, and it bounced back up, and we got the continuation. That's really what I'm looking for. This is a great example right here of what we should be looking for. That there is some buying into the weekend and then we get continuation bounce next week. You don't really necessarily have to knife catch this, because next week you can take the safe trade and a small dip and flip green, and you buy that and look for a failure of this red candle and look for the bounce higher. That's essentially what I would prefer to do. And instead of trying to knife catch this, in case we're wrong on the knife catch, this is the safer trade. So if this can bounce up into the end of the weekend and then continuation next week, and a lot of coins are like that, even here, like this potentially could be a bullish stop hunt, but do you really need to buy this right now, or do you want to trade it next week if it's going to flip green? You can even see here there was 2 weeks of like it bounced up, but you still came back down, then you bounced up again. But you know, to be buying and getting chopped up, you know, I'm just going to play it safe. Now this is already 11 minutes. Now Mir I kind of like. It's up 9% already. I'm not buying this today, but there is the possibility on a new week, you know, that this could do something like that and move up. I kind of like Mira, but it is one of the stronger coins. Like you can see already, we've not had many green weeks, and these are all, you can see they're all deep green weeks. I'm just flicking through quickly. I'm already 11 minutes and I don't even know if anybody's going to watch this far. So I'm just going to scan very quickly, and we can see the weekly candles, these bearish weekly engulfing candles. Yes, these could be good buys right now, but you're buying and you're knife catching. If this, again, you could buy this right now with a tight stop below the lows and look for a bounce into the weekend. And then if it does bounce into the weekend, on a new week, there's a good chance that we could go higher. But, you know, do you want to knife catch right now? If you don't mind knife catching it right now, then you can take the trade. If you want to play it safe, then you wait until a new week and then you take the trade. Red, big red candle, big deep red candles. Look at this. What have I done here? Long time ago. Farm. Well, I was thinking that we're going to put in a big base, whatever way I done here, and Bart back up. Look, Bart back up. I don't know where I've got that fractal from. In my memory, I can't think where I got that fractal from. No idea what I was doing there. Big red candle, rejection. Again, red candle, SLP getting rejected, trying to roll over. Red bearish candle, more bearish candles. You can see it's just the bearish candles during the week, or for the week. Yes, there may be some bounces into the weekend, but I also think today there's going to be a lot of doji candles forming, and maybe tomorrow will bring better opportunity. So I don't see myself buying anything today. I've seen this situation way too many times. I just don't. 13 minutes, yeah. Sorry for the long video. I really didn't mean to be so long, but I just want to emphasize, you know, you can see these bearish candles all over the place. Not really much need to be knife catching, in my opinion. There's no harm in not taking a trade for a day or two. Sitting on your hands sometimes is the best trade. I already hold some medium to long term positions, so I don't. For me personally, I don't need to be just trying to load up on mediocre, bad high risk trades. EPS. I actually hold some EPS, and it's one of the coins that got crushed in the last couple of days. So I still hold a bit of it, but it's down 97-98%. So I'm happy to hold this, and yes, it might take me down. I might be down 50% on my money, but then I will have to add lower, or whatever. If this rolls right over, I will have to add lower. It is what it is. Quite content to do that, I suppose, at this stage. I mean, don't get me wrong, I would rather things just moon. I'm on a weekly here. I would rather it mooned, because I've got 4 or 5 long-term positions. It would be very nice if they just mooned, but if I have to add to them on the way down, well, so be it. That's trading. That's it. I'm going to cut this off. 15 minutes, but you can see almost every candle is a bearish candle, and it's risky to be buying today. 15 minutes. I'll cut this off. Actually, ICP. I hold ICP. let's look at this. So that's from down there. You can see that I have my load up positions right down here. If this hits $10, that is a load the boat area. As we drop down on these pop on these alarms, you know, it's getting better and better for loading up and averaging down. I already hold a position. I'm probably break even here, roughly on what do you call it? ICP, close to break even. I might be slightly in profit, but it has dropped and taken away a lot of my profit. But again, I'm happy to build a position. Let's see the 3-day chart here. So this is going to take its time. It's not ready yet. You know, this is coming down here. I think a new 6 month candle. If we come down here and take out these lows, that you know, I would be very, very happy to add to my position down here. Get that position right down here, as low as possible, down in this zone here. Then I will sit back and relax and let things develop.